Ladies and gents, have I got something ridiculous to show you. Now, this game here, we have Ungus playing as Russia, going up against this unknown Chinese player that's come out of nowhere, playing as Ethiopia, stumbled across this insane and potentially overpowered Age 2 rush. Now, I thought this whole thing was past us. I thought that the changes that were made to Ethiopia and Hausa, you know, sort of settled them down quite a lot, and we didn't have this sort of abuse. But I thought I would show this because this is something that definitely needs to be addressed by the developers as soon as possible. And without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and click the play button here. And there is a forum post of this that I think Harrison helped translate for us. And I'll leave the link to that down below. And this person has actually taken the #1 position. I don't know whether it's changed, but has overtaken Kaiser Klein himself on the ladder. So we're going to see what this is all about and how different this is to the earlier Ethiopian rushes that we used to see when Ethiopia were actually released. And I've got to say, a lot of people are still moaning a lot about Hausa as well, and the crazy sort of scaling that you can get with the influence and how that works and the units that you can get. And we're going to try and break this down and see what this rush is all about, how difficult it is to carry out. Maybe I might give this a go on the ladder and see how ridiculous it is, because you know, I'm around 1300 ELO, which is above average, but around that sort of level, this kind of build order, if it's easy to do and it's easily executable, is that even a word? Basically, if you can easily execute it, then it might be something that a lot of people are going to be starting to do. But this is something that I think is probably going to need to be addressed by the developers as soon as possible. Will it happen? Who the hell knows? And let's find out. But the player's name is, I think it's like Kauri. I'm going to say Kauri. That is the Ethiopian player. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but we're going to stick with Kauri. And Kauri's playing up against Ungus here on the bottom right part of the map. He is playing as Russia. And I don't normally see Ungus play Russia, so this is going to be interesting. We are on a no TP map, and I don't know if that impacts Kauri here. So he is going for the Trinity, and if we have a look at the deck, this is the deck right here. You can see he is going for the Trinity first, which is the 2 villagers and the Aben. Now, guys, if you haven't played Ethiopia in a while, the Aben can gather at the mountain monastery, which is built over the gold mines, and they can also heal injured units as well. So that is what's happening right now. And we can see the deck here. So I don't think it's really changed that much, but look at the unit shipments, ladies and gents. Look at how many unit shipments are in Age 3. It's absolutely wild. There's no eco cards in this deck at all. It's a few resource crates, and everything else is military based. But the key card that we're going to see in action is the prize bull, or the Big Benny, as it's also called. It delivers 1 Big Benny, and this contains 900 food, and this is going to be one of the key cards in this build, I think. And let's see how this goes here. So it looks like we do see just going around collecting as much. We've got 30 coin, we've got 100 coin backed up here for Kauri here playing as the Ethiopians, and it looks like he is actually going to be buying with that 100 coin one of the Zebu cattle, which are the ones that fatten at the livestock market. This whole mechanic of the African civs that, you know, is still very confusing to me, but essentially, you know, it sort of works like a basic economy. You know, the more that you sell these cattle for either gold or wood, the lower the value is of the next one. You know, it's kind of like basic supply and demand of an economy, essentially. So we do see an age up here coming in. It is going to be the Sudanese. Everyone is pretty much over to wood. So relatively straightforward right now. We do see a granary going out on the far right to gather this hunt. And it looks like he is going to be grabbing the 40 wood treasure over there as well. And I'm just going to try and keep an eye on the cattle here, because I think he may have eaten one of the 2 of the cattle, because I think you start with 5 and he had 3, and then he bought one for 100 coin, and now he's got 4. So that was the whole process there. So we do see majority of vills now moving over, and there's about 330 wood backed up. So I don't know if this is going to be used for houses or for a potential war hut or war camp, I think it's called. Yeah, we've got one going down for the huts here. If we have a look at Cowrie's vision here, not much really scouted of the map, to be honest. And I don't know if Ungus is going to be staying in base. He is going to be staying in base, so he's obviously aware of this strategy, and he's going for a defensive blockhouse, which is really unusual for Russia because they pretty much always go for an aggressive blockhouse here. You see the Aben smacking Ungus's explorer there. So we're going to go for the Sudanese age up. Now, I can't remember exactly what this provides you, but I'm sure we're going to find out. I think it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be a native embassy and a mountain monastery, and that's going to go straight on the tin mine. And there we go, guys. There is that card, the prize ball card, coming in straight away, and a war camp going down. So that's basically what the wood was for. It was for a war camp, it was for a hut, and now the native embassy is also down. And we do have all mountain monasteries are gathering coin with a 25% influence rate. So he hasn't changed that there at all. And what gets delivered is influence as well when you age up. So this prize ball, you can use it to buy wood, to buy gold, and also just use it for food as well. So let's see what Cowrie is going to use it for here. We do see Gascania coming on the way here from the war camp. And there it is straight away, and boom. That was a very quick transaction. Prize ball was sold for wood. And look how much wood that is. I think that's pretty much 900 or 800, 900 wood there. And now all of that wood being used to build huts. And we do now see the next thing is the 700 influence. And we can see that from the native embassy, he's making the Sudanese dervish. Now, I'm just going to pause it here because this unit, a lot of people have said, is one of the most overpowered units in Age 2. Now, the Sudanese dervish is a skirmisher unit, so it's good at heavy infantry. And we can see here it has a movement speed of 4.75, 30% range resist, and we can see that fire rate here of 14, but it does change. You can see here. Tosses knives from a range, attacks faster at closer range. And this is one of the units that people have got a big issue about at the moment. We can see 1.75% bonus damage against heavy infantry and also double against light range cavalry. Now, what Cowrie's doing is he's using the native embassy to produce these, and he's producing them with influence. You can see here that the influence is 85, and from the war camp he's producing Gascania. So he's basically got heavy infantry and skirmisher composition. Very sort of standard to see that in an Age 2 play. And we're going to see, I mean, we can see here that, I mean, you can see the movement speed changing there as well. The movement speed is altering as well, which I didn't even know. You saw that, didn't you? The multiplier was going all over the place as well. I didn't really notice that. Anyway, what do we see? We see a second war camp coming down. That is because of the Big Benny giving him all of that wood. And pretty much the macro at the moment is everyone on food right now. He doesn't need to worry about wood. He's got everyone on food. The Gascania actually cost food and wood. So 70 food and 30 wood. A very, very good price. And he can pretty much just continue to produce those. He's got villagers obviously still on the way. And once again, he's just going ahead and he's just queuing up those Gascania. Now, I don't know if he's going to start to get villagers over to wood, because he's pretty much run out of all of his wood now. I don't know whether or not he's going to be selling a cattle here for 300 wood, maybe, to get some Gascania. I'm not too sure. But here we go. We're going to be pushing forward. Not even 7 minutes. And what have we got? We've got a good bunch of Gascania and the dervish behind. And he has a card available, and he's going for the Shotel Warriors. Now, the Shotel Warriors are basically very similar to the Coyote Runners from the Aztec, and also from the Chimu Runners from the Inca. So they are a shock infantry troop. Basically sort of treat them like heavy cav. So they're going to be good at taking down quite a lot. But look at this Sudanese coming up. Look how crazy it is. Like he's able to train the dervish from the influence that he's getting. And he's just got veals on food. That's it. That's all he needs to worry about. It's absolutely crazy. And I don't know where he's going to get his wood income next. He's creating the shuttle warriors. He's got 6 shuttle warriors coming in now, and he managed to create them, and they're 55 food and 50 gold. And this is absolutely insane. Like, we're not even 8 minutes. Look at this mass. We've nearly got 50 units in total, and we've got 3 different unit types on the field. And there you go. That's how he got his wood. There you go. It was a very, very quick transaction. You've got to be very careful. If you're watching this replay, keep your eye on the resources. There was a quick switch there. And what he did was he just sold one of his Zebu cattle for around 300 wood. And he just is going to be using that once again to create further Gascania. And that's pretty much it, I think. I think that's kind of the play. It is kind of an all-in, because the fact that he is going to run out of the cattle, right? He's going to run out of the cattle, and he's not going to be able to easily produce wood or get wood in, and he might start to falter there. But let's see how the rest of this goes. So yeah, he's really coming in now. 47 troops, and we're at 8 minutes. I mean, it's absolutely wild. We've got 17 Gascania, 15 shuttle warriors. Unga's going down for the preemptive wall here. He has got some gold down here as well. He's trying to do as much as he can, but we've got the shuttle warriors coming in now. And they're essentially, yeah, you know, they're really good at infantry all round, and they're going to be slicing and dicing the musketeers. And he's doing as much as he can to try and wall himself in, but there's more Gascania on the way. And yeah, he's pretty much, he's got 1 cattle still at the marketplace, and now he's just getting he's going for the wood shipment. Now that's it. That's what's going to help him to constantly create the Gascania. And he's still got influence coming in, and he's probably going to be using that to get more of the Sudanese. And the shuttle warriors here swooping in, dealing with as many of the villagers as possible. And here they are. 24 attack damage. Range is really short. Bear that in mind. But now the shuttle warriors are going to be working on the TC as well. Musketeers popping out, and they're not going to stand a chance, especially because they're ruskets as well. And you can see the macro. It's pretty much 70% on food, 30% on gold, and your wood shipment is coming through from selling your cattle and getting the big Benny at the start and getting the 700 wood shipment when you need it. Just timing it correctly. And we can see here he's taken down the blockhouse. He's got another card available now. And now 6 Gascania are coming out from this. And he's just got so many unit shipments here as well. It's absolutely crazy. He's got the dervish coming in that he's constantly spending on. He could hold that off, and he could probably get 12. I mean, this card's absolutely crazy as well. And there's not much Ungas can really do in this situation. I mean, you can see the Cossacks have popped, but the Gascania are just going to absolutely delete them. And once again, he's just going to be hammering the TC. And there's nothing Ungas can do. He's completely idled. There's just too many units. I mean, he had nearly 50 units before 8 minutes, which is absolutely insane. If we just go to the post game, we come back here. You can see that it's absolutely ridiculous, and he's still got 1 cattle left, and you can see he's doing pretty well, and he could just go ahead and sell that cattle for another 255 wood or 300 wood whenever he wants, and all he needs to worry about is just getting food and a little bit of gold in, so you know he can make shuttle warriors if he needs to, or he can use it to actually just buy a cattle. Cattle cost 100 gold. He could just use the gold, buy a cattle, and just keep it going. It's absolutely insane. And what I find really weird is I haven't really seen anything about this in months, right? It went very quiet. Ethiopia and Hausa went relatively quiet. Obviously, Hausa, there's a lot of issues and people complaining still around the balancing of that civ. But Ethiopia was relatively quiet. Now, all of a sudden, it's all come out. There's this sort of rush that you can do with the Big Benny. And I mean, that was very straightforward, guys. I'm just going to break it down quickly for you because I can still remember it. It's relatively straightforward. You know, you start, you age up, you just get your explorer on food and gold, and you go ahead and you eat the first cattle. I think Cowrie ate the second cattle. I'm not entirely sure. And then all he did was he went for the Trinity card. He then went for the Big Benny card and he sold that for wood. And I think he got like 800 wood, something crazy like that. He used that to build a bunch of houses. He built 2 war camps. And then after that, he went straight for the 700 influence. And he just started to create Gascania. He's got the native embassy because he went for the Sudanese age up. He got the native embassy and he started making the Sudanese dervish from that. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Very straightforward. He went for the Shoto warriors as well, which was a nice thing to go for. That was his first unit card, I believe. He then went for the Gascania and then 700 wood. And he doesn't have, the thing is, he doesn't have to worry about gathering wood at all. He was pretty much on food. When he got into age 2, he was 100% on food. And then he slowly took a couple off of food and moved them over to gold. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell, guys. I think that is kind of wild and crazy. I'm not too sure how you would deal with that. Maybe if you're like Spanish or if you do a crazy FF, if you do a very quick FF, you might be able to deal with it. But he had nearly 50 troops just before 8 minutes. I don't know. It's going to be difficult. Maybe if you pre-wall and you go for a really solid quick FF. I don't know, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. I think this was kind of crazy. Kind of ridiculous. Let's have a look quickly at the timeline here. We can see the units there. Let's have a look at the age ups here. So you can see that he actually got in about 4 minutes 40, and Ungar's obviously playing Russia got in 4 minutes 20. But let's have a look at the military unit population. I mean, you can see here there he, you know, at 7 minutes 30, he's got 34 troops in against Ungar's 25 only, and yeah, it's just nuts. Absolutely crazy. So guys, of course, let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think needs to change to this? Do you think that the Big Benny card needs to change? Because that was kind of crazy. You got that instant amount of wood so quickly. And of course, you know, are you going to give this a go? Are you that kind of person? You want some free elo? You want to try and, you know, just go for the strongest build possible? Let me know down in the comments below. And of course, if you found this useful, helpful, interesting, all that good stuff, please feel free to drop a like. I'll catch you in the next video or the next stream. But one thing to the devs, guys, look into this because I think this is a bit ridiculous and I think something needs to change around Ethiopia, most definitely around the Big Benny card. So catch you in the next one, guys. Peace out. Bye-bye. Bye.